Hey, my name's Lockie. I'm pushing myself to see if I can survive 7 days in Japan with no Google. Because at 40 years old, I've just lost my job, I'm autistic, and up until 24 hours ago, I was too scared to even leave my bedroom. So, of course that means...
Taxi!
Airport, please.
We're going on an adventure!
Half of me loves that we blew our last set hiring a van for a completely unplanned road trip, and the other half has no clue where we're sleeping for the next 7 days and is actually
Snake check, snake check, snake check.
kind of freaking out.
We decided that the bear will have to deal with the fact that I shit my pants first.
So if you missed the last video, let's catch you up. See, after our dream Japanese holiday was spent in COVID isolation last year, and then 6 months of the worst kind of burnout back home, we landed ready to push our comfort zones and just really excited to release all of that stress. So I gotta tell you, our first night
I mean, I'm not scared.
wasn't exactly the huge escape I was hoping for, because we got lost. We discovered that all campsites closed before sunset.
So we can't get in.
And then I discovered my safety-conscious fiance giving a new cheeky grin as we stealth camped at this house of doom, where I experienced just a next-level panic session.
I'm scared, dude.
Only to wake up the next day to find she's still looking at me like the Joker looks at Gotham on fire. Which I've just learnt means we're about to do something
Silly and a bit risky, which isn't like us.
We're cancelling all our accommodations, so we have nothing pre-booked.
No parachute, nothing.
Instead of spending 1 week on the road and 1 week just chilling out in an Airbnb somewhere, we're now spending our entire holiday with no plan and no Google.
We survived one night. We might as well, right? So we're like 100% more prepared than we were last night.
At least one of us is confident, because I feel like I need a coded safe word right now. So maybe if you hear me say the words thoughts and prayers, things have gone really bad. Which reminds me, there's a massive flaw in our plan that we should probably fix. Like, right now. To stop us obsessively Googling this time, our main rule was that we could only Google for campsites and only after sundown. But after we learned the hard way that campsite check-ins all stop at 5, we have to make it like 4. That still gives us all day to get lost and get a cool drone shot or discover our very own castle. And the thing that made hitting that cancel button easier was see just how reliable our van had been yesterday. And it's probably a good time to introduce you.
Liz has named it already. What have you named it?
Sammy the Samurai Camper.
Yeah, Liz does have a penchant for naming things, but to be honest, Sammy is a worthy steed, and
I am liking the feeling of having my home on my back.
Like a snail
Like a snail.
or a turtle. I'm a turtle.
Turtles don't have burnout, do they?
I've been thinking about what we could do if we get a second chance at this for the last year, and after the worst 6 months of my life, nothing's gonna stop me. And now that we're here, we were ready to put that nightmare behind us. And as we approached our first mountain, and Sammy stared down that climb,
Well done, Sammy.
we both went silent knowing that Japan was ready to show us something we'd never seen before.
Oh, Where do I stop? Where do I stop? Where do I stop?
How a Japanese fuel station works.
Konnichiwa.
Gotta thank this very patient fuel attendant because we only made it a mile up that mountain before we had to turn around and come all the way back down again. It was a good reminder that we have no idea what's ahead of us.
And I don't want to risk it up a giant mountain.
So before we left, again, we made sure we were actually prepared. You know, we checked the fuel gauge, we looked at the mountain, and we looked at each other, and we looked at the mountain, and as Sammy roared to life and Liz held out for my hand, I took the deepest breath I've ever taken because...
This is crazy.
We are currently in a tunnel in the middle of the mountain, and there is a cloud in here with us.
Oh, what the...
We are in motherfucking Japan. Like, nothing could prepare us for how insane this place really is. Like, I'm talking mist-covered mountains and rice fields and...
Oh, what time is it?
It's 6:30.
We were too late to find anything.
We've got to find a campsite.
I keep getting distracted by all the pretty rice fields.
Look, it's no biggie. Like, not gonna let something as simple as a campsite ruin this trip. We'll just push this back to 3. Like, it does mean we have to spend tonight in a truck stop, which is essentially just a car park, but like, actually some great people watching.
Like, it's a cool microcosm of human behaviour.
There's definitely an end of the car park where people are not doing it right. We found ourselves at the rich end of town.
So we turned on these blue lights, but I'm worried the neighbours might think we're having a sex party.
It's actually good we adjusted the rules because the next day,
We're so lucky, baby.
We are. This is amazing. It feels like a million miles away.
we landed somewhere so magical, it kind of felt like the Japanese Hogwarts.
But if you just duck behind those trees, and my pants are falling down.
I was so in awe that the next morning,
Just woken up at sunset for the first time in years.
to finally cross something off our list.
Put the drone up and see what we can find.
A bit of a confession here, that's me watching a DJI tutorial because I've never actually flown a drone before. And Liz only agreed to this very expensive purchase right now if I didn't fly it over water or, crash the thing. So many hundreds of dollary-doos and one slightly dodgy marketplace meeting in the dark later, and
See, the sun's just about to come up there. Okay, that goes down. That's, yep, forward. Oh, yeah, oops. It's pretty easy. Oh my god, look at that sunrise.
And with one of our 5 drone goals complete, it's good to take a win every now and then, even though you promised your partner you wouldn't. I think I said something to Liz when she woke up that I actually felt really peaceful here, and because of that,
The place is incredible.
she misunderstood completely what I meant, and now we're doing something I would never do back home. Go for a bit of a bushwalk.
Liz has found a dodgy staircase that I have no intention of. Oh,
I know the whole purpose of this trip was to push myself out of my pretty limited comfort zone, but, in hindsight, I definitely should have Googled whether snakes were a thing in Japan. Because after being so locked up in my room for so long, my brain is super paranoid that I'm gonna step on a viper and end up dead. And because Liz got me out of burnout in the first place, I think by now she knows how to get me to not freak out because, all she had to say was,
Want to show me how to fly the drone?
and I went from this guy
snake check.
to this guy. I'm always super excited to show Liz a new hobby.
Are you ready for your first flight, baby?
Sure.
It's going to be spectacular.
She usually rolls her eyes, but this time I kind of get the feeling she's
Is it waterproof? Like if it got in the water, could we just go pick it up?
super interested for some reason,
The only way it will fall into the water
which gets me even more excited
is if it runs out of battery,
and eager to show her just how easy
or if we've lost sight of it.
flying a drone can be.
But that's a huge area to have line of sight.
I'd only flown it once. And,
Stop.
yeah, I think, now would be a good time for them thoughts and prayers in the comments. We're actually pretty lucky the drone didn't crash all that far, it was just
There's
across
some risky shit right there.
these sketchy looking rapids. And trekking through them whilst keeping my relationship together,
We can't really afford to place it.
I'm so sorry. I'll try and earn that back as soon as possible.
and then trying to keep myself together, wasn't my favorite activity, and you'll see what I mean right here.
I don't want to go ahead because, snake check.
I can't tell you just how much snakes give me nightmares.
You don't do the snake check in Australia.
And when you're as burnt out as I am,
I literally do not go outside.
my relationship to nightmares is a huge reason why
All right.
my knees are rattling right now.
Do you want to tell them what happened?
Lockie has seen a tail of something, which could have been anything.
It was a snake. I promise you, it was a fucking snake.
Everything here looks like
Come on.
bits of things that I'm just like, what the fuck is that?
It's all the same. It's all just plant.
And then this guy came. I think Japanese people are just straight up legends. This guy,
Must have heard me screaming like a little girl.
he busted it out of the forest out of nowhere,
Arigato. Yes.
took the drone controller and insisted that he finds the drone for us. And after I'd calmed the hell down,
We need to offer him a beer or money or something.
and made some jokes about Liz,
You know that meme where old mate from Narcos is lonely? Yeah. Arigato gozaimasu.
here he comes back, drone in hand, ringing his little bell, which I've just found out is
Wonder what the bell's for. Is it for?
It's for bears.
Oh.
bears and snakes and nightmares. Oh my! So that night,
I'm scared of the bears right now, but I have to go take it. Decided that if I go, the bear will have to deal with the fact that I shat my pants first.
the saving grace to all of this is having access to a private shower, because after the last episode,
That was actually my worst nightmare for this scenario.
I'm not sure I would love showering in public with every wildlife that wants to kill me.
Welcome to the campsite in the middle of nowhere. To have a shower at this place, you must cross the hallway of doom and enter the reception of ghosts. Bypass the lavatories of eternal light, lest ye be sucked into their eternal world. Find ye the Tory gates of doom. Wait, I've used doom too much. Okay, now I'm just recording to keep the lights on, but, well, snake chat. It's a stick of fear. You stick.
This probably wasn't the big deal I thought it was at the time, but with all that in our rearview mirror, it kind of felt like we were hitting our stride. Like I'd seen enough to feel certain that a castle was just around the corner waiting to be discovered. And just as I finished that thought, we found something that was almost as good.
You're not sweating?
Almost. This perfect recreation of an Edo town.
It's an Edo worm. How's it going, mate?
Where everyone, including some guests, were dressed in period costume. It was epic.
This is on another level.
Walking around in the same streets as like samurai and geishas was such an incredible experience. Yeah, we may be running behind finding tonight's campsite, but it's not at all like you have to book ahead in Japan. We'll be fine.
So we just pulled up at a Michinoeki because we couldn't find a spot for the night.
So you 100% have to book ahead in Japan.
Not having security of a set itinerary sort of adds a bit of danger at night when we're trying to find a place to sleep. Spent 3:30 till 6 o'clock trying to find us a spot last night, didn't work.
And Lissa started to go really quiet on me.
And we're going to shift off to a castle now.
I remember recording that, doing my best to keep Liz in good spirits, but trying to find a castle with no Google wasn't the hardest challenge. It was campsites. Turns out it was Japan's busiest camping season, so trying to find a spot for vehicles was next to impossible. So after yet another truck stop, we had to break our rule and start Googling for places as soon as we woke up each day. But not even that worked, and before you know it, it's night 4 without a campsite. Which I think was the hardest morning to wake up, because it meant yet another day trying to book through Skype's AI translator, hoping that the cell service doesn't drop out for the 5th time today, and that after waiting the 10 minutes it takes for Skype to translate, it doesn't turn around and say,
No bookings, sorry.
and after yet another day, spent Googling instead of exploring, Liz hit her limit.
Like, it's overwhelming. It's a different way to traveling than what I'm used to. So if it's midday now and we've got to be at the next place at 4, but it's going to be an hour or 2 away. We're just gonna blow through towns and miss good stuff.
Seeing Liz not enjoying this trip was not a great feeling, and it kind of hit me too.
But we haven't really stepped out of our comfort zone, right? We've just been driving. We're still using Google Maps. We're still basing our journey on a destination. I think the reality is stepping outside that van and just going in a random direction is scary.
And then
And so to shake things up a bit and get us out of our comfort zone,
I had an idea.
for the next hour,
I'm posting a poll on my Instagram.
and ask them one simple question. Left or right?
Whichever way wins, we go. I was pumped imagining what we discover after all the responses came flooding in. And after like 15 minutes, I pulled out my phone, I tapped Instagram, tapped my story, and there it was. My one response. I'm not sure if anyone else has felt this, but I'm always super surprised just how often I forget that I don't actually have any friends. But that's not gonna stop me.
Let's do this.
If the only person who had stuck around long enough was still here with me, then I owed them the chance to see that it was
So I'm gonna try something.
worth it. So I got in the car, I reversed out,
So turn the corner, first left.
and I kept turning left until old mate's time was up.
Less than 5 minutes and dead end.
And then I let Liz decide what she wanted to do, and so glad I did, because
Liz made an executive decision. We've gone down this random road.
The Shirakawa Castle.
We're going to a castle.
we found a motherfucking castle. No idea how, but we actually did it.
That, whatever that is, looks awesome. What is that? Let's go.
And if those stairs are anything to go by, it looked just as old and just as epic as I'd imagined.
We would never have come here if we hadn't just decided to turn off Google Maps.
You know, I'd love to say that we didn't care what was at the top of those stairs, but
I'm so excited about this.
the truth is, we both did. We came here to escape all of the fear that had kept me locked up for so long and desperately trying to fit in. So if you were to ask me if blowing my last paycheck to come all this way and risking our future was worth it, I'd say I'm not sure I could respond, really.
Yeah, look, no castle.
Don't think it'll surprise anyone that this was the limit.
Yeah.
Move back to the car.
Okay. So this is scarpered. Just had enough of it. Let Liz not have her boyfriend talk to a camera for the rest of the day.
This right here was actually supposed to be the end of our trip, but for some reason, past Lockie and Liz chose to make current Lockie and Liz's lives super stressful by
We're cancelling all our accommodations, so we have nothing pre-booked.
and extending the van hire for the extra week means we're gonna have to exchange Sammy. Pretty sad, to be honest, like he's been such a worthy steed. But now we're in a bit of a rush to clean it out, quickly hit the laundromat, and do the several-hour sprint back down to Tokyo before they close. We got all day. It'll be fine. Can't we just get a fucking break?
Tried charging the battery in the laundromat, but it seems to be pretty slow.
No, we just bent the plug.
Huh?
We just bent the plug.
Just bent the plug. That's why I didn't want to. It's okay, baby. We're just gonna, like, we can shift it a little bit. So if we try it now.
Just for lols. Yeah, no, it's fucking good.
We don't have a Japanese number to arrange roadside assistance.
With Skype barring 1-800 numbers and no payphones, we spent the next 3 hours desperately looking for a way to get help.
What time is it?
It's like 1 o'clock.
It's like 1 o'clok. Okay, so that store doesn't open at all. Been here for a couple of hours where we haven't really seen any people around. We're due back to exchange in 2 hours.
And with every second, we're facing late fees we can't afford.
Liz is pretty stressed out, to be honest.
Nothing so far.
And after we finally got onto roadside assistance,
And they're going to be another hour.
this was fucked.
We're almost there, baby. So now we have to bust it back to exchange cars. You ready, baby?
I don't remember Liz saying much as we sped back down to Tokyo, but all I see now is just how willing she was to follow me on this impulsive trip. And just how desperately I needed it to be a cure for the nightmare we left back home. And with this being our second attempt at exploring Japan, I can't tell you how hard it was to be back at where we started, feeling like we actually hadn't discovered anything, which was exactly the same feeling as last time. And about a month after COVID ruined that last trip,
That real dark thing from the start of the last video happened.
which is why that night, I realised why Liz had been so quiet.
Would you have regretted not doing this?
No,
Or
well, I
what?
knew it was necessary for you, and that by the time we went to leave, I realised it was necessary for myself also. It's just that I don't often give myself permission to need a break. It's been a monumental year for both of us for all the wrong reasons. Not being able to help someone and trying to keep it together, but knowing that it could have gone south at any moment. I keep saying I've been holding my breath all year.
Chances are that most people will never see what a mental breakdown from burnout looks like, but if you're lucky enough to even come out the other side,
It fundamentally changes you. I'm scared, dude. I'm scared the moment I wake up in the morning to the moment I go to bed. Just didn't realise how much it had changed Liz as well.
so if you were to ask me if convincing Liz to follow me as we blew all the money we had and trying to survive without Google was worth it, I'd say it's not what I'm here for.
Hey, so this is something I never say. It's a fucking beautiful day. Never understood why people say that, but after the day that was yesterday, we drove quite far and ended up with a pretty nice view, I reckon. So yeah, I've been thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. Beautiful day.
Holy shit. We nabbed the spot,
The beach camper in me is really worried about the tide coming in.
but we nabbed the spot.
Fuji, motherfucker! That's motherfucking Fuji!
Yeah.
That's exactly what I needed. You work here every day.
Yeah.
How you feeling, baby?
Excited.
So Liz has found a unicorn. I've been replaced.
I don't think I've ever been scared on a roller coaster before.
Actual ice skate. I did a mad squats to achieve this one. That is legit ice.
Pretty easy to just want to give everything up and move to a place like this, right?
And after 3 of the most perfect days of my life,
You can see that, can't you? But that's it. That's our last day.
this was tough. I knew what I had to say. I couldn't bring myself to say it. Because I've always known how this video ends. It scared me.
And it still scares me. These first 2 videos on my channel needed to be about something bigger than Japan, which is why it took me 7 months to even start editing. And now it's been a full year. Not sure I'm ready to face this part again.
But like I said in the last video,
The thought of someone else going through what I went through on their own kills me.
and if by showing our experience with autistic burnout prevents it happening with someone else, I absolutely have to finish this. And maybe you could help me.
Before we landed in Japan last year, I wrote myself a list of everything I wanted to experience in life. But now we're here, I'm gonna add one more thing. See, I want this channel to be about helping each other to achieve our goals, whether it's base jumping off Mount Everest or finding the courage to leave your bedroom. So down in the doobly-doo is a link to a Reddit and a Discord where you can share your bucket list and help me help others with theirs. So I guarantee there's someone out there who deserves to feel like they belong. Which reminds me. Should be super happy being the first vlog and whatnot, but this represents so much more than just a YouTube video. If you were to look behind you, you'd see Lake Ashy.
Which is where Liz and I were both standing
Almost a year ago to the day.
when we first saw Mount Fuji.
It was amazing. We were two very different people.
So it only feels right that we've come here to say goodbye. If you were to ask if making my partner follow me as we dumped a bunch of money we didn't have was worth it, I'm not sure I could respond, really, because we'd spent the last year battling our shared sense of dread for what was to come, and the one thing I wanted the most was for us to never feel that stress, ever again. But what I didn't notice was that I was still stuck in that same loop, the need to produce a result, justify a decision, that forced my brain to shut down, to lock itself away in the first place. But watching this back, I realise now that every day we spent in Japan was a day the country was trying to remind me that I didn't have to do that anymore. That I had every right to just exist, to breathe, to be alive. And for the handful of people who need to hear that too, maybe we can do something for each other, for ourselves. Next time someone tells you that something you do is crazy, doesn't make sense, or asks if doing everything you possibly can just for a bit of freedom was worth it, maybe that's a question that doesn't need an answer.
Done.
Well done. That was fucking spectacular.
Start making our way home, baby.
Can we stay?
Government says no.
At least for another 2.5 months. See you later.